My name is Raef, and I'm coming to you live from the beautiful, busy, crowded city of Cairo, Egypt. I'm happy to join you live for a question and answer session. Ask me anything. I have a bunch of questions already prepared here that you guys were kind enough to send through the interwebs across Twitter and YouTube and Facebook. I'm looking at 3 different cameras, so if you're looking, I'm not ignoring you if I'm looking this way, and I'm not ignoring you if I'm looking this way, and I'm not ignoring you if I'm looking this way. I'm just talking to 3 different audiences at the same time, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and live on Instagram. I'm so happy to be back in Cairo. Cairo has a very special place in my heart and in my history. Both of my parents are Egyptian. And so I come back to Egypt quite often to visit family and friends, and of course the awesome Awakening team here in Cairo, Egypt. And yeah, so you guys can send in questions and we'll get started. Actually, there's a lot of questions already on Instagram. Instagram is popping. Wow. I am really sorry. Actually, if you're on Instagram, send a question through the question tool. That way it doesn't get lost in the sauce. And on YouTube as well, you can send in questions through here. And we have the team, the Awakening team here with me that'll write down the questions as quickly as they can. So, hey, Assalamu alaikum Indonesia, Assalamu alaikum Nigeria. A lot of people from around the world, which is always awesome. All right, so let's get started. Let's take a look at the very first question that I have here. When and where were you born? I was born in the city of Washington, D.C., on the east coast of the United States in 1982. So that's a long time ago. And yeah, it's been home for me ever since. Germany says salam. Where's your mushroom? I can't believe people still remember my mushroom. Kresno Haji from Indonesia is asking where my mushroom is. So a long time ago, the story of my mushroom is, I used to have like this Mario mushroom that I used to carry with me whenever I performed. And inside that Mario mushroom, I would have my guitar picks. So, do I play Minecraft? I've played Minecraft quite a few times, actually. My niece, plays a lot of Minecraft, and I've tried it a few times. I can't say that I enjoy it very much, but I do play. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to try to get... So, look, I have 2 pages of questions right here, and I have many questions coming in, so I'm going to try to get through as many of them as possible. And have I ever lived in Egypt? The answer is... yes and no. I've lived in Egypt for, I think the most I've ever lived in Egypt was like 2 months. So I don't know if that's considered living or just visiting. But like I said earlier, Egypt has a very special place in my heart and in my histories because my parents are from here. So I come here quite often to visit family. I have all of my uncles and aunts and cousins that are all here in Egypt. So what city do I currently live in? I live in the state of Maryland on the east coast of the United States. It is close to Washington, D.C. So for people outside of the United States, I just say I'm from D.C. and they kind of get it. Let's see. Third question. What is your life like as a Muslim in America? Do your Islamic songs get criticism and rejection there? Honestly, life is great as a someone who's Muslim and who lives in the United States. There's many of us, thankfully, and there's Muslims almost in every state. I believe in every state in America there's many Muslims. And do my songs get criticism and rejection there? I mean, like anything, there's people who enjoy it and people who don't enjoy it. So yes and no. Was your childhood dream to become a musician? No, my childhood dream, to be honest, was to become a taxi driver. And so my dreams never came true. Let's see if there's any questions here on, let's choose YouTube. Let's see some questions on YouTube. What is your next project, Raef? From Reni Ningish, from Raef Indonesia Fan Club. Assalamu alaikum Indonesia, apa kabar? I miss you all so very much. SubhanAllah, I used to visit Indonesia a lot before the pandemic, and since the pandemic, I've never actually left Maryland since the pandemic, except for like, I think once or twice. And so I miss you guys a lot. So are there any projects coming up? Yes, actually there is. There's a project that I'm working on. There's 2 projects I'm working on. The first project that I've been working on for the last 2 years is a project called Mini Muslims. If you haven't checked it out, go on. If you're on YouTube or if you're on Facebook or Instagram, check it out. MINI Muslims. The Mini Muslims is the tag. It's a music project for children that we're working on, and I'm very proud of the work that we're putting out. There's many songs and animated cartoons for kids to enjoy. So that's the first project I'm working on. The second project I'm working on is an album called First Light. It's a new concept where we're creating an album called a theater album. And the idea of a theater album is that we'll take this album and perform it as part of a play. It's a new idea. We have no idea if it's going to work or not. And so the only way that we're going to find out if it works or not is if we try it. And so I believe I'm halfway done with the album. When I get back home, inshallah, I'll try to wrap it up so you guys can enjoy some of the music. Let's take another question from Facebook. Assalamu alaikum from Copenhagen, Denmark. Will you ever visit Denmark? Maybe come to Denmark with brother Maher Zain. Honestly, I'd love to. Just invite me, man. Where did you get your education and what did you study? That's a good question. Jawad Rahman, because that was actually a question I was going to answer right here. I have a degree in computer science, not in music, not in anything art related. And I graduated from the University of Maryland in College Park. Yeah. All right, let's go back to these questions. How do I spend my free time? I enjoy making coffee. But just so I'm not lying, this is not coffee, this is actually tea. I enjoy making coffee. Anything in the outdoors, I like hiking and hunting. Hunting is something that I enjoy quite a bit. Instagram is at 20% battery life. I think it should last, inshallah. Yeah, so that's what I do in my free time. Okay, let's take a question from Instagram. Let's see if there's lots of questions coming in from Instagram. I am scrolling down. Aya Sahar from Sweden says salam. Hi Aya. It's been a while since I was in Sweden. Just so you guys know, I'm scrolling through the questions. I'm trying to find questions that are like interesting and meaningful. No offense to those of you who are asking what my favorite color is. I just want to see. When did I join Awakening? That's a really good question. I joined Awakening. Let me put this down so I could see your. I joined Awakening in, I believe I was signed to Awakening in 2012. So it's almost 10 years now. Almost 10 years now. And I released my first album in 2014. And yeah, I came to the office here in Cairo, this exact same space. And I started working on my album. At the time, Hamza Namira was here, and Maher was also here. Maher Zain was also here in Cairo, and so we started working on my album in 2013, and I released my album in 2014. So it's been a minute. Where am I from? I am from the United States of America. Let's see. Oh my God, there's so many questions. Let's see. I'm scrolling down. This is a lot harder than it seems. I'm looking at 3 different cameras at the same time. Assalamu alaikum from Nigeria. Assalamu alaikum Nigeria. Okay, let's go back to this. What is my biggest fear? That's a pretty deep question. So, I think one of my fears is doing something wrong or being on the wrong path and not knowing that I'm on the wrong path or doing something wrong. That's a big fear of mine because nowadays there's a lot of paths to take, and I'm quite concerned that I won't be on one that is pleasing to my Lord. That's the biggest thing for me. Let's see. Okay, let's go back to YouTube. Can I talk in Arabic? Yes, kind of. Shoya. I get around. Let's see. Okay, another question that came in. Oh, wow, this is a great question. How did you get the idea for the Muslim Christmas song on YouTube? Wait, what does this one say? بحب أمريكا أحسن ولا مصر? Is that what it says? إيه؟ حسيت بفرق الزحمة? Yeah, okay, so let me answer the second question first. حسيت بطرق الزحمة؟ بفرق. حسيت بفرق الزحمة بين أمريكا ومصر؟ Of course. بس So the question was, for those of you who don't know Arabic, is do you sense is there a difference between how crowded things are here in Cairo versus in the United States? The answer is yes, because I live in a very calm and quiet area, but I know that there's many cities in the U.S. that's very crowded. Maybe not as crowded as Cairo or Jakarta, but I've been to many cities that are very crowded. How did you get the idea for the Muslim Christmas song? The Muslim Christmas song, or the Deck the Halls cover, was a song that one of my friends wrote many years ago, and it was just a song that we enjoyed singing and sharing our love for Jesus, Isa alayhi salam. And so that's where the idea came. Of course, the melody is very well known. It's one of the most well-known melodies, especially at this time of year. All right, I Love Awakening, says 494X. I love Awakening too. Okay, let's go to YouTube. Let's see. Can you sing in Turkish? I can't. I don't know anything. I don't know a single word in Turkish. Maybe one or two. I'm really bad with languages, to be honest. Can you speak Bahasa? A few words here and there. Another question from Facebook. Will you do Journey of a Backpacker this year? Oh man, I wish. So a lot of you who are watching from Indonesia are asking about Journey of a Backpacker, a TV show that I did 4 seasons of, and I really enjoyed. We did 160 cities, or 143 cities, a lot of cities across Indonesia. The pandemic has changed a lot. Okay, let's move on to the next question. How are we on time? Are we good on time? Okay, cool. How did you begin your journey of singing? What are some of the challenges that you faced, and how did you overcome it? I wrote and I sang because it was something that I enjoyed doing. So for that for me was how the journey started, I guess, if you want to call it that. It's something that I enjoyed doing, and I got better the more I did it. And so the next question is, how did you learn how to play guitar? YouTube! Anyone watching right now, access to information is like so easy. All you need is an internet connection and a cell phone or a mobile phone or a laptop, and you can teach yourself anything in the world, whatever your interests are. And that's how I learned guitar. I learned guitar through YouTube tutorials. And that's how I learned guitar. How did I join Awakening Music? I joined Awakening Music in 2012, and they've been known, and even till this day, as a leading brand in creating this kind of music that is beautiful and high quality and positive and uplifting, and a lot of people enjoy the music that Awakening puts out, including myself before I joined. And my paths crossed back in 2012, I believe, and I signed with them in 2012. Let's see some questions from Instagram. Sorry, I'm getting questions from like 4 different sources right here. What was one of your favorite moments during my career? One of my favorite moments during my career. That's a tough one because there's a lot of good ones. So there's this one masjid that I visited in Wichita, Kansas. Wichita is a very small town, and Kansas is a very scarcely populated state in the United States. I've never visited Kansas. And so I went to this very small town, a very small masjid in Wichita, Kansas, and I had one of the best performances there. I shared music with a group of, I think, 15 people in this small town in Wichita, Kansas. And I'll never forget that day because it was just so special. Everyone there was beaming, and I got to hear them sing, and we got to share a very special time in Wichita, Kansas. So if you're watching from Wichita, shout outs to you. Do you plan to release your albums on vinyl or cassette tapes? I don't think so. People don't even have CD players. And you want me to release something on a cassette tape or a vinyl? There's some folks with vinyl, to be honest, but I don't know anyone who has a CD player at home. I know some people who have a CD player, in their cars. What's one of your favorite cities? Okay, so let's answer that one. One of my favorite cities, I really like Las Cruces in New Mexico. There's a city in New Mexico. New Mexico is one of my favorite states in the United States. It's a desert. It's a very cool desert climate, and there's not a lot of pollution. There's not a lot of people, and the skies at night are always very starry and beautiful. And so I've always enjoyed and loved that city so very much. Of course, I love the city of Medina, just because our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is there, and the city of Mecca because the Kaaba is there. But favorite's a tough one. Next question: why did you shift from computer science to music? So the shift between computer science. So I switched careers several times. My degree was in computer science, and I worked as a software developer, not even for a year, and then my first shift in careers was to teaching. So I taught high school actually. I taught computer science in the Maryland public school system for close to 8 years, and during that time I was doing music, and so the shift happened gradually. So after 8 years, I made the shift to just music. Let's see, what other questions are there? Do I have another job besides singing? Yeah, actually I do. So I'm working on the Mini Muslims project. That's a really cool project that I'm working on. So there's a lot of music production and animation production involved in that. I'm also a media producer, and I do a lot of video work and video editing. So that's my other job that I do. ازيكم سمي؟ انت كويسة؟ انت كنت بردانة برا ولا ايه؟ الجو جميل جدا؟ Really? Okay, that's Sumi, my daughter. I know a lot of you guys have been asking. Who is Sumi in your stories? Sumi is my daughter. She's my 5-year-old daughter, and she's visiting Egypt with me. What is your favorite music video you enjoyed filming? Oh, thank you for that question. Whoever asked that question, I don't know if it was from Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. So there's a couple. One of them was my song Home. You can look it up on YouTube, search Home and then my name. And that was a really special video for me. Not just because of the song itself, but the filming was really engaging and exciting. We got to go to many different places, and almost everyone was a volunteer. And the video is something that I'm very proud of. The second video that I had that I really enjoyed filming was Dear America, which we released last year. That was a work of art that I'm very proud of. All of the people that worked on that song and the music video, I enjoyed my time with them, and I'm very proud of the product that we put out, the song that we put out, the music video that we put out. And it was an exhausting couple of days filming both Dear America and Home, but I'm quite proud of those two songs. Okay, let's keep going. There's so many questions and so little time. Let's go to the next page. Do I ever sing in Arabic? I mean, there's a few songs that I sing in Arabic, but to be honest with you, I'm not so comfortable singing in Arabic. I'm not so comfortable speaking in Arabic. So this phone, 1 second, is about to die, so I'm going to plug it in, if you don't mind. I have a backup battery here. The question is, how am I going to balance it? And yay, I balanced it. For now. If it falls, I'll just pick you back up. So if you're watching live on Instagram, if you fall, don't worry, I'll pick you back up. But for now, it's all good. So yeah, there we go. It fell. I knew it was going to fall. But is there a, let's see. There you go. We're all good. Sorry, Instagram. YouTube, you're so good. Facebook, you're so good. So yeah, do I ever sing in Arabic? You know, I've been wanting to sing a song in Masri Arabic. But I feel so fake doing it. So I have to figure out a song that, honestly, when I speak like Masri, لما بتكلم مصري بحس إن يعني الناس بيعرفوا إن أنا مش بتكلم مصري normally. So it sounds really fake. Like when I'm out in the streets here in Cairo, and I شكلي مصري, right? So I look Egyptian, بس أنا أول ما أتكلم مصري, they're like, What's wrong with you? Funny story. Yesterday, we were at the pyramids, or was it the day before yesterday? And everyone, طبعا, when they look at me, they're like, okay, واحد مصري زينا. Everyone's like, okay, you're just another Egyptian. But as soon as I start speaking, they're like, انت مش من هنا. انت مش من هنا. And then, if you've ever been to the pyramids, it's beautiful, it's amazing, it's one of the most amazing places you can visit on earth. But there are a lot of hustlers there that will try to sell you anything. And as soon as they find out that I'm not my Arabic is a little twisted or something, wow, it's a whole nother kind of experience. I'll just leave it at that. Okay. All right, let's see some more questions. Did you ever visit Palestine? No, I would love to visit Palestine. I would love to visit Palestine at some point in my life, inshallah. That's one of my dreams. Oh my God, there's so many questions that I left here. You have a big similarity with my brother. Okay, we'll set up to your brother. Does he have a dot like this? Because that would be hilarious. Raef, please make an a cappella version of every song you sing. I'm trying, man. Some of them, I have a lot of songs in a cappella, no music, but not all of them. It takes a lot of work. By the way, shout outs to my friends in Indonesia, Sintesa Vocal Play. These guys are awesome a cappella group that they help me do a lot of the a cappella stuff. Who is my inspiration in life and in this career? So, inspiration in life, that's a big one. My dad is a big inspiration. But when it comes to like music and writing, and there's an artist that I really like. Her name is Joni Mitchell. She's an amazing songwriter. She's really old now. She's like in her 90s, I believe. But she is an amazing songwriter. I love her style. I love the way that she writes. So I learn a lot from her. She's quite an inspiration. Another person is Dawood Warnsby. He is a mentor of mine, and a friend of mine, and just his philosophy on music and how he writes and why he writes has inspired me till this day. Those two people I admire quite a bit when it comes to music and making music and all of these things. كيف حالك؟ الحمد لله. كيف حالك انتي? I think ستي. All right, let's go back to Instagram. I just hope I don't drop you, Instagram. I'm sorry. Let's see. When am I coming to India? I don't know. I wish I could come to India. Okay, let's see if there's any questions here written down. Any concerts soon? So as you know, pandemic has kind of slowed things down. I did a lot of online concerts, but to be honest with you, they're not the same. They don't feel the same. The interaction is not nearly the same. I think since the pandemic started, I've had like 3 in-person concerts. I'm hoping things will start to open back up again, but Allahu Alam. So do I have any concerts soon? I think I might have one somewhere in the States. Most of my concerts are in the United States. Am I working on a new album? I already answered that, but I'll answer it again for those of you who aren't there. Yes, I'm working on an album called First Light. It's a theater album, which is like meant to be taken on the road. So it's a new concept, new album. Yeah, stay tuned for that. Okay, let's see. What else are we looking? I'm looking at 3 different screens here. Salam from Mozambique. Wow. Salam from Mozambique. Okay, let's go to YouTube. Some funny comments here. Hi, good evening. Hi, good evening. You're an artist that plays piano. That's awesome. Oh, here's a question. Do you have any advice for anyone who's doing music? How to get music out there? So, for those of you who are watching who are into art or music or film or anything that's artistic, one thing that I wish someone told me when I was, I guess, starting out or younger is just don't be afraid to fail. Just keep trying. The only way that you're going to get better at something is if you just keep doing it. If you enjoy it, it really shouldn't feel like it's a burden. If you don't enjoy it and you're doing it, then maybe try to choose another hobby. And I would just say share what you feel comfortable sharing with your friends. And don't worry so much about likes and shares and views. I know we live in this world where that's really what fuels people's artistic endeavors. And I would encourage you to not, as much as you can, be so concerned with likes and views and shares. And if you haven't listened to my song, All About Me, listen to it, because that's exactly what it's about. I wrote a song called All About Me. I wrote it with my friend and mentor, Dawood Warnsby. And it's really about that. It's about that struggle that we have as artists, that when we're creating something, why are we creating it? That's what I would, that's another piece of advice for all artists out there. Ask yourself why you're making that song, why you're making that piece of art, why are you doing what you're doing? You know, when you have that, when your intentions are aligned with your values, then you feel much more comfortable going. I don't know what your values are, but you ask yourself why you're doing what you're doing. And if it's for the likes and shares and views, okay, do your thing, but I believe that will bring you a lot of stress and a lot of discomfort. So I would encourage you to not be so concerned with likes and views and shares and followers and subscribers. And I would just be concerned with creating your art and improving and really find those who criticize you. Try to find those who, a lot of times you always say, oh, ignore the haters and ignore this. I would advise you to actually seek people who would critique your art and try to ignore praise and stay away from praise and stay away from people who are saying, oh, you're doing a great job, when you may not be doing a great job, because then that will stunt your growth. Yeah, that was a mouthful. Okay, we have another list of questions. Oh boy. Bismillah. Okay. Favorite Egyptian dish? Man, I have so many. I love stuffed pigeons, hamam mahshi. People back home in the United States think that's disgusting. Not me, it's delicious. What else? There's so many dishes. Kushari it's amazing, but it's so heavy. It's a carbohydrate bomb. If you haven't heard of kushari, you gotta try it. My favorite international cuisine. So I've been to Indonesia a lot, and there's a lot of foods that I tried, and there's some foods that I don't like, but there's a lot of foods that I do like. Like rendang is amazing, martabak is amazing. Oxtail soup is my favorite. Shout outs to oxtail soup lovers in Indonesia. Do I have a book project? Yes! Some of you have been asking about my book. I wrote a book called Journey of the Backpacker, about my journey across Indonesia, and it's in the editing stage right now. So done writing, but now it's in the editing stage, so stay tuned for that. There's a lot of stuff going on. Sometimes I forget what's going on. Do you play anything besides guitar? You know what? Recently, since the pandemic started, I started to learn how to play piano. And there's this app that we downloaded on our iPad at home, and me and Sumi have been learning piano. So hi, Sumi. And actually, Sumi's been doing a lot. She's sitting to my left there. She's trying to get on camera. But anyways, Sumi's been learning a lot of piano, and I've been learning with her. So hi, Sumi, into what stage are you in? Dala Essentials 3 ولا ايه؟
Classic 1.
Classic 1? Okay. وانا كمان في Classic 1؟ I thought انت كنتي في حاجة ahead. لا؟
ماما جنبنا على طول.
ماما جنبنا على طول. Okay.
لازقة
لازقة فينا. Okay. So yeah, me and my wife and Sumi, we've been learning piano together, and I'm not very good at it, but I enjoy it, and it's a lot of fun. Do you teach guitar? Actually, so here's another thing. If you go to my YouTube channel, I have several guitar tutorials that I have released, and inshallah, in the future, you can ask me their questions, and I'll be happy to answer. And you can share your music, please. If you're watching right now on Instagram or YouTube, or up and coming artists or people who want to share their music, it's always inspiring to me to see that. Okay, I gotta get to the next question. Sorry. I think that you enjoyed. Can wrap it up. Oh, here, there's another question right here. What's your favorite quote? I have a lot of favorite quotes, but one of my favorite quotes is the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Because a lot of times when you begin something new, it seems intimidating and like, oh my goodness, there's so much to do. Where do I begin? And it really just begins with one step. I never knew how to play guitar, and it was intimidating at the start, but it just start to learn how to play one chord or one note. If you're into animation, or if you're into filming, or if you're into photography, it's the same idea. Start with one thing, do it well, move on to the next thing. And then after some time, you'll realize how far you've come. And that's why that's one of my favorite quotes. Let's see, we answered this question, we answered this question. What is my favorite thing about my home country? I'm assuming you mean the United States of America. One of my favorite things about my country is the diversity of people. There's so many people there from around the world and cultures, from many different backgrounds, religious backgrounds, ethnic backgrounds, and I think that's such a blessing. There's a few places in the world where you find that. One of them, of course, is the United States, and the other place is Mecca. If you've ever been to Umrah or Hajj, you'll find people from all around the world, and I think it's a beautiful thing. If you're talking about Egypt, it's family, honestly. I have so much family here. I have a lot of cousins, and I don't get to see them very often. So whenever I come to Egypt, that's the number one thing that I love about Egypt. Let's see. What song does your child love most from many Muslims? Actually, let's ask Sumi. إيه أحسن أغنية بتحبيها from many Muslims? The best one. Think, because they want to know. They're asking about many Muslims. Yay, we get to pray? Well, let's go to Jannah. Which one? The wudu time? She loves the wudu song. There's a song called It's Wudu Time, and I shamelessly sing in like a Caribbean accent. It's kind of. So yeah, check it out. Check out many Muslims. Check it out three times. So if you have kids, or if you have kids in your family, check it out. It's a project that I'm super excited about, honestly. That's like where a lot of my passion is nowadays. Children's music, children's songs. Obviously, it's because I have a 5-year-old in the house and I can test my songs out on her. But, okay. Let's see. How much time do we got left? Okay. Let's see. Are there any other like questions that, like burning questions or like nice questions that you found out? Are there any? Sorry guys, I'm trying to see. So, okay, let's go back to Instagram and see if there's any questions in the questions tab. Will we see you in Sweden? I don't know. I wish I had answers to these questions. Can you come please visit the UK? I wish. If I get invited, inshallah, I'll come. All right, here's another question. Will you do an online concert? I've done so many over the last 2 years on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram with organizations individually. But like I said, the honest truth is I'm like tired of them because I miss in-person interactions. And so maybe my mood will change. I don't know. It's a lot of uncertainty. We're living in very uncertain times. What language do you speak at home? We speak Arabic at home. Arabi. يعني we try. صح يا سمي؟ بنحاول نتكلم عربي في البيت صح؟
بس أنا نسيت كل عربي.
أنت نسيتي كل عربي؟
كل ما نروح مكان إنجليزي بس بنسي كل عربي.
يا نهار أبيض.
كل ما نروح مكان عربي كل إنجليزي يمشي.
طب أنت دلوقتي نسيتي العربي ولا الإنجليزي؟
بس هم الاثنين.
نسيتي هم الاثنين؟ هتكلميني إيه بقى بالإندونيسي؟ ولا بالإسباني؟
مش هكلمك أي حاجة يعني حاجة.
أوكي.
بالطريقة.
طب أنت بتكلميني كده؟ بتكلميني إيه؟ بتقوليني بإيه بقى؟ نكتة حلوة صح؟ Okay, let's see. Please come to Pakistan. That's one place I'd love to visit because I have a lot of friends whose families are from Pakistan, and I'd love to visit Pakistan. Let's go back to YouTube. How does it feel to be a member of Awakening Records? It feels good, mashallah. It's such a blessing to be part of this team, and I wish I could introduce you to everyone here at the office because they're the gears that make the machine work per se. You guys are always interacting with the artists, right? There's 3 or 4 or 5 Awakening artists that you are interacting with, but there's a lot of work that's being done behind the scenes that I, of course, appreciate very much. Assalamu alaikum. When did you make a song? Not sure I don't know. Last song I made was in Ramadan, I think. One More Night. Yeah. Do you paint? No, I don't. I don't paint. What made you want to be the person you are right now? I have no idea how to answer that question because I don't know if I'm the person I want to be right now. Oh, here's a good one. Is your music Muslim Christmas song halal to listen to? I hope so. If I thought it was haram, I wouldn't have put it out. I know it's quite a controversial song. Sorry, not sorry. I don't know. I'm proud of the song, just so it's clear. It's just no, sir. Guys, عايز تسلمي عليهم ولا لا؟ مش عايزة؟ Okay, مش لازم. Let's see. Salam from Indonesia. Assalamu alaikum. Apa kabar, y'all? How it looks like Awakening office in Egypt? It's right here. So I'm in it. I'm in the office. I'm in the Awakening Records office in Cairo, Egypt. Al-Qahira. Let's see. What else? Is there any other burning questions? Left, right? Because I'm looking at 3 different screens. I'm sure I'm missing something. If you see something that's interesting. I want guitar. Okay. ربنا يرزقك بguitar. I don't know. Okay, here's another one. Let's see. How many languages do I speak? I can barely speak English. I speak American. Just kidding. I speak English and Arabic. And like a few words of Bahasa Indonesia. Oh, here's another one. Assalamu alaikum XYZA. Big shout outs to you. تشايف الأسئلة هنا يا سومي؟
لا.
Where are you living? In the UK or the US? I'm living in the United States. Yes. What makes me happy? Sumi makes me happy. Food makes me happy. Sleep makes me happy. Music makes me happy. Being content makes me happy now. انت بتحبي النوم كمان? High five. My daughter says she loves sleep too. Who doesn't love sleep? How long have you been into music? I don't know, maybe 15, 20 years, something like that. Is playing guitar haram? I certainly hope not. I wouldn't be doing it if I thought that it was. Okay, let's see if there's any other question. Uli. Really? But you like pianos, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay. Sumi's saying that she loves playing piano. What do I do in my free time? I think I answered that. Maybe I did. Hiking. Cooking. I love cooking. Hunting. We love hunting. Okay. I think... Okay, let's take one last question from Facebook and then one last question from... Okay, let's take one last question from each platform. I'm just scrolling through Facebook right now. Looking forward to the new album. Would you ever come to South Africa? I would love to come to South Africa. Never been. Been to North Africa. I'm there right now. I'm looking through Facebook to see if there's a good question. And a lot of them are salam. Salam's back. Assalamu alaikum, Bangladesh. Why do I do music? I do music because that's how I express myself. That's how I best express myself. And all right, now YouTube. Let's see the last question from YouTube. أسألك guys أسألك أنت الأسئلة؟ Okay. هم بيقولوا how old are you? أنت عندك كم سنة؟ قول لهم هم بيسألوا مش 5. سومي عندها 5 years old. صح؟ If you guys have any questions for Sumi, send them my way. Was Arabic difficult for you? Not particularly. My parents both speak Arabic. Okay, I'm going to see if there's any questions. Where are you from? I am from a state called Maryland in the United States. There's a lot of questions of what makes you happy. A lot of things make me happy. Alhamdulillah. Let's see. There's another question right here. Oh, wait. Let's see this question right here. Have I been to Canada before? Yes, I have been to Canada. Canada's close. Canada's just a skip and a hop away. I've been there many times. I did a few tours in Canada. I love Canada. It's just the cold sometimes is a bit much. The cold is a bit much, but it's not too bad. Okay, let's see. What is my daughter's name? Sumi Tismiki. I just gave it away. Sumi. Her name is Sumi. Yeah, Sumi. Okay, now let's go to Instagram and then we'll wrap up. Oh my God, there's so many. It's so hard to go through these. Nam? I know, I'm waiting for them to ask you if there's any questions. What's your favorite song? Perfect. She loves Perfect by Ed Sheeran. Not one of my songs. And I'm assuming you're not perfect on the piano, right? Please do it with Masoud. Masoud's not here. What is the story of your latest song? Oh, that's a good question. Okay, بس هم بيسألوني أنا ممكن أجاوب على السؤال الأول. So my latest song, One More Night, we released last Ramadan. A close family friend of ours passed away unexpectedly from COVID, from the coronavirus, and she was sick in the hospital for a long time. And so we were praying that Allah would cure her. And I was kind of putting myself in her mind, and even all of us, anyone watching right now, whenever you're sick, whenever you feel like you're near death, you ask Allah for just one more night, because that's really all we want. We just want one more chance to make it right, to do the right thing, to get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so that's a shared desire that we have one last moment to make it right with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so that's the idea behind the song One More Night. And I enjoyed that writing that song, and I'm very proud of what we came up with. Okay, they're asking Sumi if you can sing, but you want to sing? You can? You can't? Okay, what do you want to say? Okay, go ahead.
Follow my lead. I found a girl, beautiful and sweet. I never knew you were the someone waiting for me.
That's it? High five, Sumi. That was beautiful. MashaAllah. Sumi loves singing. She loves going out. صح؟ نخرج مع بعض. وبنجري ونروح الwoods.
ونروح المدرسة.
Okay, now she's getting too comfortable, too excited. MashaAllah. So are we going to wrap up soon, or? Okay. So thank you all for joining me live here in Cairo, Egypt. I'm sorry I couldn't get to all the questions. I'm looking at 3 different cameras at once. We tried to get to the questions as quickly as we could. But thank you for joining me live. Like I said, if you're doing art or music, and you want to share your music with me, I'd love to listen to it. Just hit me up on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook. Actually, not Facebook. I never check Facebook's messages. Share your music. If you're starting out and learning how to write or learning to make music, just take that one step. Try not to worry so much about likes and views and shares. And yeah. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. It's good to see you all. I'm going to end it now on Facebook first, and I'm going to end next on Instagram. Assalamu alaikum, Instagram. It's good to see you all. And finally YouTube. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.